For what, the last 30 years or so, we all thought we knew the rules for winning on the internet, right? It was simple. Get more users. But what if I told you that fundamental law is being completely rewritten as we speak? The future of tech, well, it's pivoting from connecting millions of people to, instead, deeply understanding just one.
And this quote right here, it just nails the core idea. We're moving away from what we call scale, just how many people are on a network, and we're heading towards synthesis. And what's synthesis? It's all about how well a system understands you. I mean, this is a huge change, and it explains so much of what's going on in tech right now.
Okay, so to really get a grip on where we're going, we first have to rewind a bit. We need to understand the old rulebook, the one that built the internet giants we know today. For decades, this was the undisputed law of the network.
And it all comes down to something called Metcalfe's law. It's a simple idea, but wow, is it powerful. Basically, it says that the value of a service doesn't just grow one by one with each new user. No, it grows exponentially. Think about it. Every new person who joins squares the number of possible connections, and that's what makes the whole network way, way more valuable.
It's actually super intuitive when you stop and think about it. Picture this, the very first fax machine ever made. Totally useless. But the second one, bam! Suddenly there's value. Same thing with Facebook, right? Its power just exploded with every single friend who's signed up. And Uber? That's a classic two-sided network. More riders attract more drivers, which means shorter wait times for you, which, you guessed it, attracts even more riders. That's the network effect, that beautiful loop in action. So for decades, the entire game, and I mean the entire game, was about this one equation. Value was all about N, the number of users, squared. That was it. So the goal for any company was super clear. Get to a massive scale, get there as fast as you possibly can, and create an advantage that nobody can beat.
But now, everything is changing. We're seeing this really fundamental shift. The new source of value, it's not about connecting everyone anymore. Nope, it's about deeply, profoundly understanding a single person.
Let's break it down like this. The old world was all about horizontal value, just adding more people, more nodes on the network, spreading out. The new world, it's all about vertical value. It's about how deep the understanding goes between the platform and just one user. It's a total shift from breadth to depth.
And this new source of value, this new way of thinking, it has a name. We're moving out of the era of network effects and into the era of what we're calling cognitive effects. Now, this is so different from network effects, which completely depend on other people being there. Cognitive effects, on the other hand, create value that's all about you. It's intrinsic and hyper-personalized. The platform becomes valuable simply because of how much it knows about you, your tastes, your habits, your entire history with it.
So this brings us to the new value equation. You can just forget about N squared. The new formula is T times D. That's the amount of time a user spends with the system multiplied by the depth of the data they share. It's that simple. The longer you use a service and the more it learns about you, the more valuable it becomes to you.
And this completely changes the game. The old tipping point, remember, was about getting millions of users just to make the network work. The new tipping point, it happens on an individual level. It's that magic moment when a platform knows you so well that the idea of starting over with a competitor, of re-educating a brand new system from scratch, just feels like an absolute nightmare.
So what does this actually look like in the real world? Well, it changes the fundamental goal of technology itself. We're moving from a world that was all about access to a new world that's all about edit.
Okay, the access economy, that was all about curation. Think of Spotify giving you access to, 30 million songs? That's amazing access. But the edit economy, that's about autonomy. It's an agent that just knows you're tired on a Tuesday afternoon and plays exactly what you need to hear without you ever having to ask. See the difference? It's a shift from just filtering options to actually taking action on your behalf.
And believe me, this shift is already happening all around us. In travel, we're moving from Expedia, with its millions of listings, to an AI concierge that just books your perfect trip for you. In commerce, Amazon's giant marketplace is being challenged by a personal AI shopper that automatically reorders your pantry items based on your health goals. And in the workplace, LinkedIn's huge network is becoming less important than a cognitive OS that can draft emails in your unique voice and style.
Okay, I want to talk about the perfect case study for this. A company that grew up playing by the old rules, but now absolutely dominates with the new ones. I'm talking, of course, about Netflix.
Just chew on this number for a second. Netflix saves over $1 billion a year just in retention. And it's not just because they have a great library of shows. It's because their recommendation system understands you so deeply that the thought of leaving, it feels like a genuine loss.
Get this, a staggering 80% of all the content watched on Netflix comes directly from its recommendations. So personalization isn't just some nice little feature on the side. No, it is the core product. It's the engine that keeps you engaged and, more importantly, keeps you subscribed.
This is what we call their cognitive flywheel. It's a simple, powerful loop. You watch something, the system grabs that data, which then fuels these hyper-personalized recommendations, which then leads to you watching more and staying longer. And on it goes. It's this beautiful self-reinforcing loop that just gets smarter with every single click you make.
So Netflix's competitive advantage, its moat, what protects it from competitors, it's completely cognitive now. It's built on the sheer depth of its data about you, the years of context from your viewing history, and even this wild fractal personalization, like showing you a completely different thumbnail for a movie than it shows me, based on what it thinks will appeal to us. The cost of switching isn't just a few bucks. It's losing all those years of learned preferences.
And that, right there, brings us to the ultimate takeaway from this entire shift. The new competitive moat, it isn't the network anymore. The moat is you. The term for this is contextual lock-in. A company wins not because all your friends are using it, but because the service has built up so much personal context about you that the sheer effort of teaching a new system all of that from scratch is it's too high. It's too much work.
This quote really just sums up the whole endgame. The platforms that are going to win in the future, they're the ones that will understand our intent so well they can perform these really complex tasks for us with almost no instruction at all.
And all this leaves us with one final, kind of provocative thought. As these systems move from just curating things to acting autonomously, from understanding what we did to predicting what we will want, the real question becomes, when your AI understands your next thought, who is actually leading the conversation?